Hello and welcome to our channel, Vedic Solutions, and I am your host, Harinama Chintamani. We are so happy to present to you the teachings of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He gave us numerous books, which you see here, translated from the ancient Sanskrit language into English for the benefit of the entire world. We talked about in our last video purified knowledge and making decisions from the platform of purified intelligence, what authorities to hear from, and how the age that we are living in now, according to the ancient Vedic texts, is called the age of Kali, the Iron Age, the age of hypocrisy, violence, and quarrel. And we also mentioned that this is a unique Kali Yuga. It is so unique, this time that we're living in now. It happens once every 8 billion years. That is how far back the timelines go on this earthly planet. There has been so much misinformation about when human life was on this planet, what were the oldest civilizations. It's not even being given properly the history of the very planet that we are living on right now. And that history is extraordinary. There was a time that there were saintly kings. There were rishi, sage, saint, raja, king. There were saintly kings who were trained to be kings by first having training in character. How can one not be trained in good character? And yet, we have allowed institutions and corporations and media and everything that is influencing our lives to be based on atheism. So if there is atheism, what is the standard of morality? It isn't there. It's non-existent. And that's what we see now, where anything goes. If we want to establish proper human life, then we have to establish a civilization that is based upon God consciousness. There is no other foundation. It cannot be based on somebody's speculation. And then we need to hear from the authorities, the self-realized authorities who understood what the value of this human form of life is. There was a time in our schools when our children graduated that we offered prayers, non-secular prayers to God, acknowledging that there is a divine being who oversees everything, who is the source of each and every one of us, of each and every living being, of all of the elements, of all of creation, of all the planets, of all the species of life, the source of everything, God. And there would be a prayer to be guided by God, as these young people would go forward in their lives ahead, knowing that lives will be filled with so many challenges. There will be loss. There will be disappointment. There will be sorrows. How do we prepare our children for their lives ahead if we are not giving them a foundation to understand who is God and where we come from and what the purpose of this human form of life is? What are we giving them? We're failing our children by not giving them the truth. And in Vedic culture, children were sent to the home of the spiritual master. Very personal, very small. Let me ask you, what is the reason that we have schools with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of students, where there's bullying, where there are drugs, where there's all kinds of sinful activity going on, and really no way to monitor it because of the size of it, because of the way that it's developed? Why? We need to rethink how we are teaching our children, what we are teaching our children, the and the purpose that children are going to school. It is so tragic that our children are nurtured by us in many, many homes where God is still the foundation, where there's still some understanding that we need to think about God, pray to God. And they go to school and they're exposed to atheism. And they come back bewildered. Is really that the way that we are going to be able to continue forward our human civilization? It's not working. It's falling apart. Our children need to be protected, and they need to be given the truth, and they need to have an atmosphere where they can thrive, not just from an academic standpoint, but spiritually and emotionally and psychologically. And these books that Srila Prabhupada have given offer how to create a foundation for a school that will fill all of these requirements. So I encourage all of you to please take advantage of the many resources that we have available on our website, purelyprabhupada.com. Other videos and resources are available on purelyprabhupada.org. And so in conclusion, what I want to share with you is that in this Kali Yuga, which lasts for 432,000 years, and we're 5,000 years into it, you'll be so happy to know this. We are in the time of a turnaround. The uniqueness of this Kali Yuga is it doesn't continue to get worse. By the end of this Kali Yuga, if somebody lives to be 25 years, they will be considered a grand old man. There will be no more grains. There will be no more fruits and vegetables. It will be a desert. And poisonous animals and insects will be very, very large. And it will be a terrible time to still be on the planet. The end of Kali Yuga. People will have children and eat them, just like in the lower species of life. And then all of that will be cleared away eventually. There will be many rains. The planet will be cleared off. And the Satyuga, the pure age, will begin again. So there's so many cycles on this planet that last many millions of years. But in this Kali Yuga, this rare Kali Yuga, this is going to be turned around. And that is why we see the collapse of our world, of our governments, of our institutions. This demoniac civilization has to be taken down and be replaced by one that is based on God. And that is what is happening now. So it's difficult. There are wars. There is violence being done to ourselves through various institutions, which some of us are aware of, and not everybody is still. But it is being turned around. And you can be a part of it, because as each one of us begins to make the positive changes in our life that are necessary to create a God-conscious civilization by the choices we make in what we listen to and what we eat and what we allow to come into our consciousness. These books are so rich. They're filled with knowledge. They're filled with truth. We have videos that can guide how to create a beautiful, sacred space in our homes. Each of us can have that in our homes, no matter how humble the home. We can create the most beautiful, sacred space. We can be personally uplifted, our families. We can create communities. That's what we are meant to do, to create sustainable, spiritually based, God-based communities where we can all come together, work together with mutual respect and love, understanding God is in the heart of every living being. And that is the golden age that's coming, and we're a part of it. So I hope that each one of you will take advantage of these resources, and I pray that your hearts will be inspired to understand that the Lord is there for each and every one of us. And through these books And please do take time to hear the lectures of Srila Prabhupada that are also available on our website. You will be guided and uplifted. And also, please send any questions you have. You will see the email address, Vedic Solutions 108, and we are happy to receive your questions and to answer you. Thank you so much for listening. Hare Krishna.